All right, so let's go back to Place for Things though. So you're sleeping on Campana's couch, and then you meet Travis,
Yeah.
who I've met before. I met Tyler Dobbs before. I'm working on getting Tyler on. So if Tyler's listening, hit me back up. It's in your DM. So definitely, I want to talk to both of them on here because they're so cool and so talented. But how did that come about for you?
Well, Tyler was actually one of our roommates when I moved in. He was another artist that I would write articles about while I lived outside of Seattle. Travis as well. I'd cover all their music. I was a big Seattle art fan. I thought that they were doing things that the rest of the country weren't. And this was at a time when they didn't necessarily have the accolades that they currently do. There weren't multiple major label artists coming out of Seattle. There was really only Macklemore and Sir Mix-a-Lot and Soul. Like there's a bunch, but this new wave is what I was kind of a part of. And yeah, it was beautiful. I'm sleeping on Campana's couch in our second apartment, and Travis Thompson started coming over. It was a place he could smoke weed while he still lived at home. He'd come over. I lived on the couch, so my bedroom was the living room where everybody was always at, and we became really close that way. A lot of laughs shared, a lot of podcast conversations that were never recorded. But it was a special time in just art and in my career and in Travis's career and everybody around us too, you know?
Yeah. So how did you end up? What did you shoot for Travis?
The well, 48 videos.
Wow.
So probably like 80% of what is on Travis's YouTube channel. I helped direct, film, and edit in one way, shape, or another, starting back to Father Forgive Me, which is actually, and I will talk to Tyler for you. It was half filmed by Tyler Dops, and that's our
Really?
most popular video. It has like 20 million views on it. It was a really special time for us because that's when we realized that the recipe is in independent success. So, like gathering your friends around, calling in favors, filming at places that people normally wouldn't film at in Seattle. And what we did is we built a world, man. And that world was a place people could live in. And we were constantly driving home new content, new music videos, new tour videos, new vlog videos, show announcement videos. The list goes on. It was just a time when we were putting together the blueprint of what like independent success actually looks like today, but we were doing it 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like we're special or great by any means, but like it just goes to show that when you get surrounded by a group of artists who believe in a common goal, you truly can take over an entire city and even the internet. Like we got fucking 3,500 or 350,000 subscribers together. Like that's a crazy number, you know?
How did you do that?
We told authentic, true stories. Like we didn't we didn't make Travis out to be this like rich and famous person because although he was extremely successful and famous to some people, he was just a normal dude. He was driving a Chevy Cavalier, you know, like it was a beater, like a piece of shit. Didn't even have like a front seat that was locked into the fucking car and you like shaking as you drive. Um, and we just made sure that like no matter what we did, we filmed it and then we put out a video and we were vulnerable on camera and it allowed him and myself and many of us to develop an audience that stays with us to this day, man.
Yeah. And where did most of that traction like come from? Was it Twitter?
Uh,
Was it because you have like a pretty active social presence
yeah.
and it's unique too. So like what have you learned that's worked for you? If somebody's trying to do something similar, what would you recommend?
Man, if you were trying to replicate some form of what we did, I would encourage you to film everything, as I've said a couple times. But like it truly is that simple. Like that is the recipe. Keep making things. Like it's on my shirt for a reason because if you if you're not releasing content or videos or whatever the hell you want to call it, no one is going to see you. And I think you know this just as well. Like you're on what episode? Like a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You're way up
This has
there
come
and
to
it's still
150.
yeah, and you're still trying to break through this like this clutter and this noise that's in your industry. It's the same in music, it's the same in paintball, anything creative. Like if you can just consistently put out stuff that people look at and they're like, "Well, they tried really hard on this." Like the views will reflect it and the opportunities will come. So just keep making things.
Hey, if you like that video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and follow our page for new weekly content.